Hello friends, welcome to ixamBee. I'm Satakshi and I'm your English faculty at ixamBee, and here today we are continuing with our Lakshya series, which is for SBI Clerk, and in this series we have already had two sessions of parts of speech. Now in this session we will see some question of error detection, right? So parts of speech was the basics, right? And now how those concepts that we learned in parts of speech, how to apply them when you face questions in exam, that is what we will learn today. So today you will see various rules, concepts, right? And these questions will come, exactly like this, only the questions will be changed. The pattern, mostly this is the conventional pattern. This you get in your SBI clerk exams every year, okay? So this pattern which we'll see today is the conventional one. Then you get many other different new patterns, but then that you may get for the mains exam, right? But for the clerk, the pattern may be slightly changed, not much. But today we will see the conventional pattern because it is important to first understand the concept, and also because this is the most common pattern that we see every other year in almost all the banking exams, right? So, moving on to the first question, here you have to spot the error, and here the sentence is divided in parts. This is one sentence, right? And it has been divided in parts, and one of the parts, right? Any one of these parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, may contain an error. So, you have to see which of the parts contains an error, right? So, now when we read this sentence, it says before of the Prime Minister's first meeting, right? So the moment we read this, we need not read the entire remaining sentence, right? Here only we know that before of is incorrect. Either it should be before the Prime Minister's first meeting, or it should be ahead of, okay, ahead of. So both these usages are correct, but what has been given here is incorrect. So the correct answer here is option 1. All right. So now this, if you want to practice such questions, they are available in ixamBee free mock test, right? And also it will come under prepositions, right? So if you want to practice such questions, you can always visit ixamBee.com for all the free mock test. And if you're reading from some book, then you refer to the preposition part to understand such questions, right? So now the other one says, at the heart of the conflict is the government's mission to capture or killing the leader of the terrorist group. Now, what are they saying here? To capture or killing. So either you will use the two form, right, the normal form, or you will use the ing form, right? So it is incorrect to use, when you have words connected by or and, right? So you have to take care that the if these words are verbs, right, then the same form of verbs should be used here, right? So it should be to kill, okay, to capture or kill. So option 3 is the correct answer, right? Now moving ahead, it says the city of Marawi in the south of Philippines has been engulfed by a deadly ongoing siege from late May. So, from late May is incorrect, right? When you are, what tense is this? What tense is this? We use since whenever we are using the perfect form of tenses. We use since, all right? So, since late May, all right? The correct answer here is option 4. All right, now moving ahead, it says the rebel have set up checkpoints on bridges and their snipers have occupied local minarets. Now, when we read this, we know that we're talking about plural things, right? Because it has been mentioned in 3 also, there in 4 it has been mentioned have, here also it has been mentioned have, but it should be rebels, right? So it should be the plural form, all right? So the correct answer here should be option 1, the rebels have. Again, this is the rule of subject verb agreement. You have to take care that whenever you are using a plural verb, then the subject should always be plural, right? And again, I say this in most of my classes, you make a noun plural by adding s to the noun, right? But you make a verb plural by removing s, all right? So this you have to take care that a plural noun contains s, but a singular verb contains s, all right? So again, our answer here is option 1, the rebels have, all right? Now moving ahead, fifth one says spot the error. You have to spot here the error. Same. It says much civilians remain in the area, complicating the calculus of any planned military assault. Right. So we know this. We have learned this in parts of speech as well. It says much civilians. So civilians are countable or uncountable? So yeah, they are countable. You can count the civilians. It is uncountable now. Countable noun. And with countable noun, you do not use much. It is incorrect. You use many. All right. You say much sugar, but many civilians. Right. Many mangoes. Okay. So many is for countable, and much is for uncountable. All right. So the correct answer here is option 1. All right. Now, moving on to next one, it says tackling the humanitarian crisis created by the conflict depends as much on these negotiations and on relief efforts. So it does. So when you have said here as much, all right, then here also it should be as, all right, as much as is the correct usage, right? So you have to say as much as, so is incorrect. The correct answer here is option 3. Now next one, I would pause for some time and I would like you to try this one on your own. Yes, anybody here? It says the Assembly's resolution imposing a 1 year prison sentence. Should it be an 1 year? No, it is correct, right? This one is correct. It need not be an here, right? So is correct because we use article and if our the sound of the word is the noun is vowel sound, but here the vowel sound for o should be o. So this is not how we pronounce one. It says were. So an is not used before one. Always is used. Okay. So first one is correct. Next is the Assembly's resolution imposing a 1 year prison sentence on accused editors of two tabloids. Now we know that these accused editors are known. We know who these people are, right? So we have to use the before accused. All right, here the will come before accused, right? So here second contains the error. All right. Now quickly moving ahead to the next one. It says the Constitution confers certain. Now again, subject verb agreement rule says the Constitution confers. Okay, so for a singular noun, a singular verb should be used, right? So and we make verb singular by adding s to it. So the Constitution conferred certain privileges on legislative institutions with the idea of protecting freedom of speech and so, right? Now, moving on to the next question. Either unfair criticism is not germane in this case, right? So, you do not use either like this, right? So, you have to say you use either or you will use either as well as or, right? So instead of either, you will write or here, all right? So this is how you do this one, right? So the correct answer here is whether what the editors of the newspapers published was fair comment or, I hope I'm audible, fair comment or unfair criticism is not germane in this case, all right? So the correct answer here is option 3, all right? Now moving ahead to the next one. Please try this one yourself. The ACB claimed that town planning. I hope you're able to get the answer, and now you have to match to what we discuss here. So now, what is the error in part E? Let's start from here. It says land records submitted to it, right, illegally, right? But when we are talking about officials, right, so it should say them and not it. Okay, so it is incorrect usage. It should be them here. All right, so yes, E also contains error. Now let's move to D. It says lake beds and buffer zone and also approves. So approves is wrong, right? When everywhere it has been written sanctioned, right? uh, and here also, when ED forms are used every, so approved is the correct usage here. Now moving on to the next question. This one, come on, try to solve it. It says that it is recorded that the last cheetahs were shot at India. So is at India correct? No, it should be in India in 1947. But there is credible reports. So we say there are credible reports of sightings from the cat, of the cat. From is incorrect till about 1967. So yes, part D is correct and contains no error, right? So D is the correct answer here. Similarly, in the third one, try this one. So again, I hope you people know this, that you have to understand this thing, that the highlighted part doesn't necessarily have to be the first part, right? So the highlighted part is always needs to be correct, and it may be any of the five parts, right? Not necessarily the first part. Okay. So here the third part has been highlighted and it is grammatically correct. Now we will see the other four parts, right? So the first part says admitting that crypto can being intimidating. So can be intimidating. All right. So this is incorrect A. Now we will move to part B. It says for people who are not steeped in finance and technology. Then we'll move to part D to find imagination ways to express, right? So this is also incorrect. D is incorrect. To express himself. Now, when we are talking about people, we should not say himself, themselves, on a democratic playing field, right? So, all these parts contain error except part B, all right? So, B is the correct part, okay? Now, moving to the fourth question. See this one now. So again, I hope you were able to arrive to an answer. And now we will discuss this and you will match your answer with what we get here. So here it says, although the government announced, so it should be the government announced market value known as the guidance value, it will nowhere, it will be nowhere nearly the actual value of. So near the actual value of, this is incorrect. The property put up with for sale. So with is incorrect here, it should be put up for sale, right? So D and E also contain error, A also contains error, only the correct part is C, right? So C is the correct answer here. Moving ahead to the next question. So yes, now this one says the mistake of selecting or wrong properties, right? So a wrong properties does not make sense. Either the property will be singular, so it should be property and it should be a, this is correct, or it should be wrong properties, right? So A is incorrect, alright. Now may give lifelong misery as it may entangle you in, now we'll move ahead, legal disputes running 2 years, nahi, through years, okay, or running over the years, right? So D is also incorrect, and you may lose the dream home, right? So and you may lose the dream home. Now after from C and E, so you have to decide which one is incorrect here, right? So just apply the logic and see, as it may entangle you in legal disputes. Is this incorrect or the last one is incorrect? You have to see that, right? Okay. So what is correct? What is the error in part D? D contains the error. This we have discussed. Part D. We have to see E. So the error is in E. Why? What do you mean by this lose? LOOSE. This loses as in loose versus tight. Okay, this is the opposite of tight, right? But what you have to use here is LOSE, loose. Okay, which means which is misplaced, or you which something that is gone from your hands, right? So E is again incorrect. The correct answer here is option B. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Option part C. Right. So you have to select option B as the correct answer. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. It says, now this is also one type. Here there are four words that are highlighted. This also came last year in your SBI exam. So this is a very important type. You don't always have to see that, consider that you will only get the most difficult questions. No, sometimes you get actually easy questions, the basics, because these kinds of questions are very basic and they come in your exam, right? So it's not that you only have to practice difficult type of questions. You have to build the basics, right? Now here it says the bus terminus project, which is a long pending. So first I'll tell you how are these questions, right? Here four words are highlighted, and these highlighted words may, either of these words may be incorrect in terms of usage, as in they do not fit in the context of the sentence, or they may be grammatically or spelling wise incorrect, right? So you have to see that which of these four words is incorrectly used. If all are correctly used, then you have to choose option E, that is all correct. All right. So here the first one says the bus terminus project, which is a long pending demand of the people of Tiruchi, is gaining momentum, with the chief minister laying the foundation stone for it recently. So what does lying means? You lie down yourself, right? But you lay the foundation stone. Okay. When you are laying the stone, it should be lay instead of lying. So this is incorrect. So you will mark option C as the answer, right? So now again it says today she employs four workers and manufacturers, right? Again, it says nearly 1 ton of vermicompost based planting mix. Now, when we read this, the word here is manufacturers, right? But it should be manufacturers, okay? So, B is the correct answer here. It is incorrectly used, right? So, you will mark B as your answer. All right. Now, moving ahead. Now, friends, these kind of questions are very important because you have seen these previously. I think in SBI Clerk 2021 only, right? So this year also you can expect something on these lines, right? Especially you can expect these in prelims because you've already faced those in mains in last year. So this year you may get these in prelims. So just be aware, be known that yes, these kinds of questions also exist, right? Now, moving on to the next question, it says after a spate of withdrawals owing to injuries, so and so. Now, when we read this, we know that owning means what? You own something, something belongs to you, right? But this is incorrect here. It should be owing to, okay? So, owing to injuries means injuries की वजह से, okay? Then you use owing, n should not be here, okay? So the incorrect word here is be owning, right? It should be owing instead of owning, okay? Now moving on to the next one. Okay, so here we come to an end of the session. And now here friends, since we have discussed so many questions of error detections, we saw three types, right? So you make sure that you are aware of all these types, and also you should you should practice these questions, and all these types are available in our mock test at iXamBee, right? So and all the mock tests at iXamBee are absolutely free. So just make sure that you attempt it and you make the best of what is available to you free of cost. So friends, please make the best of this series that we have brought for you. This is the Lakshya series for your SBI Clerk. So you make sure that you watch these sessions, all right, and these will be very, very beneficial for you. So thank you friends. If you already have not subscribed to our channel, please do. And we are holding these sessions daily. So do connect so that you learn, right? Whatever we are teaching here in English, we taught parts of speech, and now error detection, which is their application, right?